What is the current council doing right? What is it doing wrong? And how would you like to change that if elected?
I'm proud of our city. We've done a lot of good things. We look at the Lakeview Commons, for example, most recently, how we've tried to address land use issues. I think the city is more professional in a lot of different ways than we see other cities. I think the council works to try to be civil to each other and to work with each other. And those are good traditions that continue to follow. I think what they're doing wrong is the way they're making their decisions. I think they're too superficial in how they reach their conclusions sometimes. I think the council fails to sometimes really get involved in some of the decisions they're making, the documents that they're authorizing to sign. You have to understand, staff looks at documents, just look for their legal correctness, but not necessarily for the deal points that are being given away or traded back and forth. And I think we need to do more there. I think we rely too much on polls to decide what we want to do instead of using common sense and making decisions. Look at the paid parking issue. The council did a poll where it said that tourists should pay for any additional tax increases. And somehow they translated that into having paid parking. And then what happened? We had the Measure P on the ballot, which I was involved in, and 2/3 of the citizens voted in favor of the measure and against paid parking. So there's a disconnect there because of the way they make their decisions.
What state do you believe the city of South Lake Tahoe is in now as a whole, and how do you think outsiders perceive the city? How would your presence on the council impact this?
Well, again, I think it ties into what I already said. The city does a lot of things right. They are trying to manage their labor costs and evaluate their future obligations concerning pensions and health care and all those issues. They plow our roads successfully. They provide police protection and fire protection. They do the basic things the city should do. Okay. How do outsiders perceive the city? Again, to some extent, I think they're out of touch. I think they rely again on polls and maybe superficial information and trying to provide direction. Going back to the Measure P example, because I just talked about it, shows how the city council failed to perceive the real feelings of the citizens. And so I think some citizens feel, and rightly so, that the city is not connected with the people they're trying to represent. And so it's not black and white. It's not black and white. Again, I'm proud. I've been involved in the city in different ways. I was on the planning commission for over 8 years. I was on the city council for a full term. And I know that we try to do things that would benefit the citizens, but again, sometimes it's misdirected. I think we pay too much money on consultants. I think we agree to do things because of grants that we can't afford to pay for. I'll give you an example. We received a grant from the Tahoe Conservancy while I was on the council to build that restroom facility that is in the parking lot of Lakeview Commons. Have you noticed it's just a cement block? It cost $650,000. It was grant money, but someone paid for it. It's not open all year round. Why? Because they can't find anybody to clean the place throughout the year. They did not consider the long-term costs of managing a simple restroom facility. I voted for it, and looking back, that was a mistake. Sometimes you rely on staff too much. Sometimes you maybe have other things on the agenda that seem more important than a restroom facility. But I don't think it looks very pretty. I don't think it really fits into the environment. And so, again, the city sometimes is out of touch. I don't think, based upon what I saw in an editorial page today, the city has given up on paid parking. And that concerns me a lot. Two-thirds of the citizens voted against that kind of program, and I think the city might be still looking at it. Don't know.